Hey everybody, it's John from RELICS, and we are back again with another video. And today it's a negative video. Unfortunately, it's going to be talking about me getting a neutral feedback, and I believe that it's not because of anything that I did. I believe that eBay has implemented a brand new thing on their website, and it has created some kind of turmoil. I'm guessing it's going to really be difficult for maybe people that don't understand how the platform works or how they should be leaving appropriate feedback for people that they buy stuff from. I was reading on e-commerce bites the other day, and there was a story that came up, and it was about how buyers must rate products before leaving feedback for eBay sellers. And apparently there are certain categories that people are now having to rate the product. If I sell you this tape measure and you want to leave feedback for it, you actually have to rate the quality of the tape measure. And I got a buyer who actually bought an RCA converter box from me, and they left me a neutral feedback that says the features of this unit are substandard. Now, I'm not sure if this is one of the items that fall underneath the category of the new rate the product before you leave feedback, or if this is just a confused elderly buyer that possibly bought this item and did not know what they were buying, but it was an RCA digital to analog TV converter box with remote, and I did not create the item. I did not create the features that go with this item. I just picked it up brand new in the box, and I listed the features that it had, took photos of the features on the box, and I sold it. I sent a message to the person who bought the item from me, and I tried to explain to them that, like, feedback is, I told them that I shipped the item to them on time. I packaged the item, shipped it, and got it out. We have a 2-day handling time. I got all of that done in 1 day. Within 24 hours, the item was on the way to the buyer. I said it was as described. It was brand new in the box. I said, I am not RCA. I've kind of lost my edge. I guess I've been away from all the jobs that I worked in customer service for so long, that I've kind of lost my edge on being kind of like nice. I'm not rude, but I'm factual. I like to be factual with these people. And I told this individual that I am not RCA. I do not work for RCA. I do not create items for RCA, and I definitely don't control the features that go into an RCA product. The product is old, that it's from like probably whenever they did away with digital, when analog TV and went to digital, they were giving these away for free. They now have to be bought and paid for. This one was $20. I paid $5 for it. I shouldn't have, but when you can flip something really quick for $20-25, you just buy it. And I was like, it's brand new. What can go wrong? But when you have a buyer that has 3 feedback, they've left absolutely no feedback for anyone, and the one feedback that they did leave was for me, and it was to tell me or everyone in who's ever going to buy from me again, that if you buy an RCA digital to analog TV converter box, that the features on that item are substandard, because that's really going to help people that are out there looking to buy RCA TV converter boxes. And I sent a message to the guy, told him I was kind of disappointed in his feedback. And like most douchebags that leave you bad feedback without contacting you first, I have not heard anything back from him, and I am going to bet that I never hear anything back from this guy. It'll just be another neutral feedback that I have gotten on my account, and it'll sit there for a year until it rolls off. Right now for the year, I am setting at over 1,027 feedback for a 12-month period, and 4 of those are neutral, and I have 2 negatives. My feedback has never been worse, and my service has never been better. We strive to accurately describe our items. We send them as quickly as possible, and I will say that if you look at the feedback that I have been given over the past few months, there was a situation that I had shipped out a set of encyclopedias, and the guy said that they were not 1957, that they were 1962, and you know, I believe they were 1957. I had pictures of them in the listing, and you know, I don't know where the guy got that from. And then another guy, I had it's always those guys that buy the cheapest thing out of your store that tend to leave the worst feedback. I had an item, a G.I. Joe item. I did a video on this from like 1980s. It was on a piece of paper, you know, just a regular, I mean, it's not like a regular piece of paper, but it was an instructions for a really rare G.I. Joe toy. And, you know, looking back, I only got $9 out of it. I wish I would have thrown it away. I wish I would have wadded it up and thrown it away. But I figured, you know what, there's a G.I. Joe collector out there somewhere that's probably just thankful that a guy like me would be willing to save this item and be able to take care of it. I put it in a hard plastic sleeve, stuck that down, or I stuck it inside a comic book bag with a backer board, made it to where it would shipped it really nice. And this guy sent me I'll read it to you. It says, the item was not as described. In fact, it was yellowed and looked like it came from a smoker's house. Would not recommend and ever buy from again. And I replied to the feedback, because I reply to all my feedback when they're not positive, because I don't think it matters. I don't think it keeps me from getting sales. I know people are like, you don't need to write a book because it's going to hurt your future sales. We're selling 100,000 plus a year on eBay. It's not hurting. It's more for my mental health. But I said the item was a 1982 G.I. Joe instruction sheet that was 40 years old, and it was stated in the listing that the item was brown. Customer was contacted several times trying to make it right, but he never replied to me. The items like this will change color over time, and it was evident in the photos from the listing. Left negative feedback with no contact about the issue beforehand. I would rate this buyer a D-. Hope you enjoy your brown instructions, as they are clearly stated as being so. And so he read that, and this guy's no slouch. He's another eBay jerk that left a bunch of people bad feedback. So he replied to that feedback, and it says the description reads slight browning to one side, not completely yellowed from smelly smoker house. Plus, the pictures posted were not even the same item he shipped to me. It's because, you know, guys, he's figured me out. I'm in the $8.96 scam game. Like, you know, I list stuff all the time for like $8.96 so that I can just scam people, so that I can switch the item, so I can like take, I mean, there's not a lot of money involved in that, but I get a lot of pride. I get a lot of joy in just being able to scam people out of $9 so that they can leave me feedback on my account. And it says most likely, or it says same item shipped to me, most likely altered or probably a completely different item altogether. The paper looked like yellow parchment paper. Watch this seller. He is a deceitful one indeed. And to be honest, it was not yellowed. It's just, you deal with people. We'll pull it up here because we're going to, because, you know, we ain't got nothing better to do. I know you guys are wanting to move on to the next video, but let's just look at this real quick. Like, here's the browning up here at the top of the paper. You know, and it's kind of yellowed, but it's not, I mean, I don't guess it's from smoking. I smelt it, and it looks more like the paper isn't acid free, so whatever side is facing up, like you can see here how there's a little bit of brown up here at the top, but down here it's more white. And that's the kind of thing that you get with people on eBay, leaving feedback, trying to destroy your reputation so that they can get a $9.95 for free item. But again, there's not much you can do. Let's flip over here and we'll look at this story. It says must rate products before leaving feedback for eBay sellers. It says we've seen 3 reports in April from eBay buyers who said that in one order to leave feedback for sellers, they must first rate the product they purchased. One person discussing the issues speculated it could be part of a test and possibly isolated to the media category. On April 14th, an eBay buyer said that they were forced to rate the product before being able to leave feedback for the seller. Unfortunately, it seemed to be mandatory. I have no issues with rating the seller, but do not appreciate being forced to rate the product. And that's definitely going to turn out into some negative feedback for frickin' people like us that are just selling this stuff. You know, they're going to be like frustrated, so they're going to be like, "Oh, I got a," or they won't leave feedback. I would almost prefer that. I have 28,000 feedback. I don't need more feedback, but you know, it's just silly. It says the buyers pointed out that their post on eBay discussion board that they might not even have used the product before being forced to rate it, which could lead to useless product ratings. The buyer also said that it would stop leaving feedback if there were no workarounds. eBay mentorship script sought more information from the buyer, said that they'd forward the information to eBay employees. This may be one of the eBay's tests. It's not visible to everyone. It is certainly not operating the way it should if you have to pretend you have already evaluated the item before you can evaluate the seller. I'll send this along to the staff. And it goes on to talk about another person had the same issue the following day. They wanted to leave positive review for the seller, but unable unless I give a product review. It says later that week, another eBay buyer reported the same situation on a third thread. And down here it says there's an update on 4/23/2024 that eBay confirmed today that it is making the change seen by the buyers above through Jessica Vayo, product manager for eBay feedback team. Did not say if eBay would require buyers to rate the product as part of leaving feedback for sellers. See more in this Newsflash article. So I don't know, people. It kind of frustrates me to know that I got a neutral feedback. Not really. I mean, I used to really care. Like, I used to make a huge big deal about getting neutral or negative feedback. And now that it's happened a couple times, I'm just like, you know, it hasn't affected my sales at all. So now I just take them. And I don't roll over anymore. In fact, some of the bad feedback that I've got is from people trying to scam me. At least one of those are. I have another situation that we're going to be making a video over pretty soon. Francis is going to be in this one, and we're going to talk about the guy in the poster. Yes, the guy with the poster is back, and boy, is he a piece of work. And we're going to talk about that in another video. So if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. But if you've had a situation similar to this, because there's going to be those people come along, they're going to be like, you're just a bad seller. Your feedback is horrible. Let me know down below. Let me know if you've been having more problems recently with people trying to scam you, with people trying to take advantage of your good nature, leaving you neutral or negative feedback for absolutely no reason. I would love to know down below. Thank you. Please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers, and I can only do that if you subscribe to this channel. So please subscribe and help a brother out. God bless.